a group of economists led by this guy, Raj Shetty, out of Stanford, that put some research together to demonstrate that there actually was something happening in this country. And it was the fading of the American dream.
Yeah, for some reason, we always need economists to tell us about that. It's not like we can't just look out the window and see that for ourselves. If you're young and you're watching this, you probably have seen a couple of videos online about how college is useless and underwhelming.
What was the number? Was it 1 in 16? What was the 16 number?
16% have a negative ROI of all programs.
So almost of all, not engineering, of all degrees. So when you get this degree at some kind of a famous school, or you study something that's just dumb, you're just dumb for getting a degree in that. It's kind of weird that we're dumb about education, but we are.
That young men aren't going to college. People aren't giving up.
Women now make up just 60% of college students, an all-time high. Men attending colleges has dropped to 40% in the past academic year. Also, there are 1.5 million fewer college students total compared to 5 years ago.
And they're saying no. Are they correct? I mean, pretty much, yeah. I didn't really have a choice. I lived in the hood. I had no choice. I had to grow up and get out of the hood to avoid really being a statistic. It was either that or drug dealing or drugs. Look, believe me, okay, I did not want to believe that it was a lie, because you're gonna have to fool yourself into believing it. You have to in order to keep going, and it is. It's just a lie. I mean, you learn some things that you know are useful, but nobody is even going to give you the time of day. They won't even give you the time of day. It has a few issues. Actually has a lot of issues. So I went into economics. That's not a bad major, but it's hard to market to employers when you're not going to an Ivy League. What you're going to experience is really quite simple. Other people are going to get a degree that employers like more. They'll offer them more work. Those people will get the job offers. There will never be enough people. Then you have the drones, and they'll accept anything else. I mean, these people will basically just lick the ball sweat off of any of their boss's taint, no matter what level of hell they put them through. Oh, who are we kidding? It's not like I wouldn't. That's not even the worst of it. Imagine going to school with Common Core classes in the pandemic, but for another 4 years. That's college today. McGraw-Hill and Pearson, they've turned college into a standardized hellscape.
Well, that was a waste of time. Jamie, school is never a waste of time.
Since we have 15 minutes until recess, please put down your pencils and stare at the front of the room.
It's gotten so bad that like I've resorted to basically theft, so I ended up becoming a statistic anyway. If you ever go into the bathroom and there's only one other person doing something, that's not some guy doing something suspicious. That's me. I'm removing the toilet paper from the stalls so I can have toilet paper at home. Like I'm pulling an old-fashioned devious lick. Remember that? That's what you have to do in college. I go to parties as long as they're open function. You know, you can't just walk into like a board meeting. There needs to have an open atmosphere. It could be like a birthday party, a going away party, a funeral wake. Go there, maybe get a little gift bag, some free food. Highly recommended. The third, if you got a dead professor, you know, no one will know if you were in his class or not. Most professors won't even remember your name after 2 semesters. You could have had an affair with the posers. They'll bring some people on the campus. They'll be spreading some sort of propaganda, political nonsense. They'll do something, some stupid little nonsense. Somebody who had a TED talk and they wrote a book and it's not actually important. Their whole life is meaningless. Just like yours. Usually you can get some pens, some pencils, little notebooks, some special items. You're not going to be able to afford any of this on your own, by the way. A lot of that stuff, you know how they talk about, oh, people can afford, what are those, pens and pencils and notebooks and so on and so forth. Well, that's real in college. That used to be like a joke because your parents are supposed to buy that type of stuff, not the teachers. The teachers aren't supposed to have all of that stuff. The parents are. In college, however, you are. I support people who draft, you know, educational books, academic papers. But and by the way, if you ever go to college, you need to know this, okay? Your professors will tell you you need the book. One weekend, you attempt to use the book for practice. Questions aren't from the book. Curriculum is publicly available. Slides are available. 1 month in, you haven't touched a book. I spent $378.44 on books I never opened once. That's just one semester, by the way. There's several semesters just like that. I never opened those books once. This is on top of all the other fees they charge. What the fuck is a wellness fee? I wasn't well when I got there. I'm certainly not well now. $540 for an activity fee for each semester, by the way. Each semester. What? I'm not even active. I haven't been outside of the house in 3 weeks. Because I don't even go to class anymore. I've completely stopped going to class. Pretty sure I'm going to fail the entire semester. It's just a total disaster. You know what I do to avoid this now? I commit straight up skullduggery. I commit a bit of skullduggery. I can't say what sites they are because, you know, people is a bunch of snitches and they already ruined a few of them. But there are a few PDF, quote unquote, PDF sharing sites that might have certain books that may be required that you can download. If you are smart about it, you can download pretty much any book as long as it's posted and you have like a desktop so you can download the right software. You can basically get any book. College is an institution that has increased just its tuition 2,700% on average. That's an average compounded inflation of about 8% every single year.
Politicians in there say, we can make college affordable for everyone. But no, they can't. They've tried. Federal spending on college aid has doubled, then doubled again. But as government aid grew, so did tuition. Over the past 30 years, inflation was 160%. We're upset that health care costs grew more, 400%. But college tuition rose 750%.
We bad with the laws. We bad. We tough. When it comes to fighting, we can't get enough.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the dude again.
Tell me the first thing you see.
Cock, Willie, Wang, Woody, Wood, Hecker, blue-veined custard chucker, one-eyed wiggling Welshman, pink-helmeted milk-shooting man banana plunging into the hole of an ass.
$500 per year. And then you go into college where you basically gain nothing. And then they'll say, oh, wages have kept up with inflation.
And here's what Chairman Powell said. So the prices of some things will decline, others will go up, but we don't expect to see a decline in the overall price level. That doesn't tend to happen in economies, except in very negative circumstances. He's talking about a recession. It'll take a recession to get these prices down.
Well, we don't have to get the prices down
We
because
don't?
wages are going up.
Wages never keep up with inflation. This is well known by everybody who knows anything about basic wage. And never trust economists. You know, I'm an econ major, so I know. Never trust economists. Most economists are frauds. Most of the popular economists are frauds. Okay? Paul Krugman, waste of space. And they'll just say, oh, we're gonna give more loans, we're gonna expand the system, we're gonna have free college. These are the things that caused the inflation in the first place. This is what opened up the gates of hell. It made it impossible for you to get a good job without a degree. My recommendation, just stay away. Don't come to college. If you don't have to come to college, do not go. Take your other options. If you grew up in a nice neighborhood and your parents are they're not whack, don't go to college. Go to trade school. Do something. Live in your parents' basement. Don't go to college. Okay? Don't. Especially if you're a man, don't go to college. The wage premium, it still exists. The wage premium in the United States still exists. But just because the wage premium for your degrees exists, that does not mean that the jobs for those degrees are there. And that's the reality of the situation. Boomers aren't really leaving and retiring the way that previous generations have. So we have a system that is being delayed the transition. So you've come to college. I'm getting my master's right now. The only reason why I'm getting my master's, in all honesty, I don't really have a choice. And I think I'm gonna fail, and I think I'm not gonna be able to continue my master's. It's just non-stop disaster. And the reason why is because you just giving up. And when you sit there, you say to yourself, well, I'm taking stuff from college. I'm taking more than my share. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Don't ever feel bad, okay? They've already stolen your future. Don't feel bad.